But like, I think that we need to if you're not willing to look something up right now, I'm not really sure why. Like, I get that. I'm not saying that we're gonna solve the issue by
Because,
doing
like
that,
I said, it's not.
but
What did I say that you find contention?
I think that right now our contention, our point of contention, is that you have this idea, that narrative, that whole narrative you drew out. I don't agree with it. I don't think that it reflects reality. And so, like,
Well, pick one part. Let's pick one part that you don't agree with, and
I don't think that
specifically what you
you
don't
have
agree with.
shown in any way that people's intentions is to raise communists. I don't think that you've shown in any way that like it's people's intention um, to replace racism and white supremacy with something else. Um,
I
like
know. I asked what you think is gonna.
I told you, I didn't
If
think that's happening. You're the one who said it. You're the one who brought it up. I never said that that was
you
happening.
said the goal of it was to stop the normal social imprinting that comes from living in the world. What's going to replace those assumptions?
Listen, what I said is that to interrupt them. If people end up deciding to go with them on their own, that's their choice. I talk about it a lot on the show. It really is it's fine if people decide to go along with the normal norms. No one's trying to derail people from making that choice. That's not happening. But like the point is there is nothing to give people a different choice and there are other choices, right?
Well, to be fair, hold on there, because yes, we are. Because like a big part of the stated goal of whether you want to call it critical education, re-emphasizing or putting a different emphasis on how we teach race or slavery. We definitely are. You said kids grow up and get assumptions, and we're trying to change the way they think. Like the goal of
I
teaching
didn't
kids
say
about this, I would just
I
hope,
didn't.
is to
You
reduce the amount of racism, right?
you're not doing a good job steel manning me. Okay, like when you try to repeat.
Fine.
Okay, but you're not doing a good job. Okay, and so like you gotta realize that I'm telling you that. Okay,
Fair.
the things that you're saying about me and my perspective are not correct. Um,
Sure. Well, put it this way: if we think that the world, if we don't intervene, kids are going to have racist assumptions about black people. Would you agree with that?
we already know that for sure. Okay, from
Okay.
generations of
So we
understanding
are
that.
trying to replace that.
We are trying to give people a chance to choose something different. That is not the same as replacing it because right now there is no chance for them to choose something different because that's all they get generally.
Sure. I mean, most kids don't grow up racist.
I mean, it doesn't matter. Like, like,
And if that's the goal of doing all this, it matters.
listen, brother, you, I'm not really sure how to explain to you that you personally, it's just come to my attention, right? That like maybe you yourself don't really know a lot about the history of race in this country and the operation of white supremacy.
I think I have a pretty decent knowledge. I don't know. What
Do
do you
know.
think
I
I don't
do
know?
know, brother, as somebody who has been having these conversations. I've had over 120 conversations about race with strangers from all over the world. I've been
You
studying
may
this
know more than
subject
me.
matter for 3 decades, and I just can hear that like you haven't done a lot of study on the history of racial categories, about the
What do
racial,
I not know?
where did these categories come from? How were they developed?
The category of
Of
race
race,
in
yep.
general.
White,
You'd
black.
have to go way far back. I mean, it depends on how you want to, define that category.
It really
But in
doesn't, brother.
terms of
There's a
treating
history
people
of it.
like that's one kind of person and that's a different kind of person than that person based on the way they look like, that goes way back, bro. That didn't start in this country. That started
That's
way
not what I
before
asked.
that started way before we have any record of anything that was going on in this country. But
Yeah,
if you want to talk like our modern categories of race, I mean,
that
we
was the
can
question.
posit
Yes.
that it started kind of one way or another as kind of a moral justification or and it's some kind of a justification for slavery.
Well, it started before that. Okay, it was used as a moral justification
I
for
know, I know
slavery.
it started before that. I was just saying we could also kind of, if we're talking the modern, like American racial categories, which have changed a lot too. But yeah, I mean, I'm not completely ignorant to the concept of racial categories in their history.
Okay, I didn't say that, so I just want to.
You literally just went on after saying about how you don't think I know anything about it.
I didn't say you didn't know anything. Okay, but like it's okay.
What did you say?
You could go back. I'll send you the video. You could go ahead and watch it yourself. But like ultimately, bro.
I know what you said.
Okay. All right. Well, you haven't done a good job of like steel manning what I've said this time. I think that you should reflect on that. When you watch this back, I want you to look at the points where you steel man me and then look at what I actually said and then think about that. Okay. But like,
well, the most important one, you were like, yeah, actually, that's totally it.
Yeah. I agree with that. The most
that
important
was the main one. So
the most
like
important one.
We agreed on the real meat and potatoes.
We did agree on the a lot of the major stuff. I think where our disagreement again lies, but it lies in this, like, you kind of think that something's happening in education that isn't happening. The reason why you think that, in my opinion, is because of Chris Rufo. He particularly said...
It's not because of Chris Rufo.
Okay.
I mean, it's just not.
Okay, I said okay.
People, and no one really believes it just because of Chris Rufo at this point. Because, I mean, even if all you did was read Chris Rufo, Chris Rufo shows instances of it happening.
Chris Rufo said he was going to choose anything crazy that he could find and connect it to critical race theory.
It's just an overblown thing. It's not what he said at all. What he said is he's co-opting the term, so instead of it being associated with some obscure legal theory, it's a useful category for all of this, you know, literally critically themed, whatever you want to call it, pedagogy that's done for the purpose of making kids feel like something needs to be done dramatically about race in this country. That's the real goal of doing this. And you can hear it, you know, in your voice. And I understand. I get it. You know,
I'm just going to read what he actually said. I'm just going to read it.
But go ahead.
I'm just going to...
I get the...
read what he actually said. Hey, so that we can reflect on what he actually said. Okay, it's not what you just said. It's not what you just said, brother. So
I'm not quoting it word for word.
I'm just saying, even the idea of what you just said isn't what he said. So I'm going to read it now.
It is what he just said.
I am literally reading it. Okay, so you can then reflect upon it. Okay, all right. So here it is. He says, we have successfully frozen their brand, critical race theory, into the public conversation and are steadily driving up negative perceptions.
Yep.
We will eventually turn it toxic as we put all of the various cultural insanities under that brand category. As we put all of them under that category. Hang on, I'm still going.
Yes.
The goal is to have the public read something crazy in the newspaper and immediately think critical race theory. That's his goal. We have decodified the term and will recodify it to annex the entire range of cultural constructions that are unpopular with Americans. So he did not say, he is not talking about critical race theory as it is. He's talking about a plan to change it. It's not a plan of revealing it. It is a plan to literally change what people think about when they hear it.
Co-opting the term. Yes, that's what I said.
And then, that is not what you just said. Thanks for watching. For access to the full-length conversation and all of the 2-hour-long unedited conversations that I've had on race, click the support link in the description below. Thanks for your support and see you next time.